I need to know if I took it too far in the way I went about canceling my wedding when I found out what my sister did. A lot of people in my family said I could have handled it a lot more privately, but I don't regret it. I was not supposed to be sitting here today telling this story. I was supposed to be on my honeymoon having the time of my life with my husband, but obviously that didn't happen. Everything really started to fall apart the night before the wedding, which was my rehearsal dinner. At this point, the venue was all ready to go. The guests had all flown in. Everything was pretty much perfect, and I wasn't even feeling that stressed. And even though my sister, who's a year older than me, has always been hyper competitive with me, like wanting to be better at every single thing that I was interested in, always going after and dating the guys I told her I had a crush on, things like that, I decided, you know what? She's my sister. I'll make her my maid of honor. That was a mistake. Now, we chose a few people that were going to give speeches at our rehearsal dinner, and they had specific topics that we wanted them to give speeches about. For my sister, we told her that her speech should specifically focus on me, my relationship with her, how she's excited I'm getting married, blah, 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 something like that. My fiance's brother was gonna give a speech focused mostly on him. Then we had one of our mutual friends who was gonna give a speech about the two of us together. I thought it was a pretty simple task. But my sister gets up and starts giving her speech, and tell me why I was barely mentioned in it. She starts off talking about herself, and then she starts talking about how excited she is that my fiance is going to be marrying into the family because she feels like they are so close and he really understands her and that he's just the best guy that she's ever met. Okay, great. It was a nice speech about my fiance, but that was not your job. You were asked to give a speech about me. I was also really confused because the way she was talking about my fiance in the speech made it seem like they were super close. And I mean, I've seen them talk at family events, but I did not think that they knew each other like that. She was talking about him like they were the closest people in the world. And obviously, this was super annoying to me. I'm listening to her speech, trying not to roll my eyes because I asked her to do one thing and she just did what she wanted to do. But I just tried to let it go because my wedding was the next day and I was just not gonna let her ruin it. So I didn't even say anything to her about it. But it's the morning of my wedding when everything really starts to fall apart because I wake up, I check my phone, and I see that I have an email from an anonymous account with the subject, "What you need to know before you decide to get married today." And in this email, it showed me that there were over 2 years of text messages between my sister and my fiance. The earliest text messages were clearly her trying to sabotage my relationship. She was saying things like, just be careful and don't believe everything she says because she's not really as confident as she seems. Or saying other things like, yeah, she gets attached way too fast, so she may not like you as much as you think she does.